On this episode of Watch Stuff With Us, The Handmaid's Tale Most Loved Characters. Thanks for checking out another episode of Watch Stuff With Us. Make sure you hit that like button, the subscribe button, and the notification bell because it really helps us. This episode, we are discussing The Handmaid's Tale and the most loved characters from that show. As you can see, we're super excited about The Handmaid's Tale.
Super excited.
Season 5 is coming up next week. We're going to be doing a ton of videos from now until then, discussing all sorts of aspects from the show, so be sure to keep checking back. Make sure you continue to watch this all the way to the end because the last person that we have on our most loved list is definitely going to surprise you. So without further ado, let's discuss the most loved characters on The Handmaid's Tale. So, we sort of compiled the list. This list is in no particular order, but it's the most loved characters from the show. The first one we want to discuss, none other than Miss June Osborne. Leader, powerful woman. What else do you have to say about her?
She's just my idol. My fictional idol.
Oh. I'm glad you cleared that up, fictional idol.
I mean, yeah, in real life I'd pick some other people, but
Okay.
you know, fictional idol.
So, June has done so much on the show. Of course, she's the main character of the show.
Correct.
She has been a leader the entire time. She's inspired so many different people on the show. It looks like she's inspired some people outside of the show. But also she led the whole Mayday situation and was instrumental in getting dozens of people out of Gilead. So I definitely understand why she would be on this list.
Yeah, of course. She's the main character.
I mean, and the main character doesn't always have to be a good guy.
No.
But I think for the most part, June is like 70% good.
She has very good intentions. A little selfish sometimes, but she's doing it for the greater good.
She is. And we kind of discussed this on another video where we cover the most hated characters on The Handmaid's Tale. So, a little hint, maybe this person might appear on that list as well.
Ooh.
Next on the list is none other than Luke, June's husband. He was very instrumental in orchestrating June's rescue. He was able to help with getting other handmaids out of Gilead. He raised June's child, Nicole. We just had a little discussion off camera about that, but yeah, he was able to help raise June's child, which is that's a real man in and of itself. Like, that is not his child.
Correct.
And he stepped in and is taking care of that child just like it's his own. So
yes.
He definitely deserves to be on the most loved character list. Coming up next on the most loved character list for The Handmaid's Tale, none other than June's crush / Gilead boyfriend, Nick. Her favorite. I'm not exactly sure why.
June's my favorite, but he's definitely in my top 2 for the men characters. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, Nick is a good dude.
He is. He's a very good dude. Yeah. He has to play both sides a little bit there. But yeah, no, he's out for the greater good as well.
I think he has good intentions. It seems like he may, or at least, this might get into prediction territory, but I feel like he's going to get a little bit swayed by the power that he's going to start getting, because he's already pretty powerful over there in Gilead. Yes. So I think that might eventually be a problem for him in June. But yeah, he was there to support June emotionally. He was able to support her physically.
Ew.
Yeah, so he definitely deserves to be on the most loved character list. And I mean, overall, I think he's a good dude. I mean, as good as you can be in a situation like that.
He's been incredibly helpful.
Yeah. Now we come to another character on our most loved list for The Handmaid's Tale.
We adore her.
Love her to death. And that's none other than Janine, Miss Eye Patch.
She's so cute.
I know. Like,
Poor Janine.
if there was one person on this list that I have the most empathy and probably sympathy for, it's Janine.
Yeah.
And I think that she has been, you know, she lost an eye. Like, a lot of times people talk about, you know, they've been through all this stuff, you know, physically and emotionally, but no one has, well, there may be another character or two who have lost some things physically too, but
yeah.
you know, I really feel like she's pure at heart. She's definitely a fan favorite on this show. And I think she's a lot smarter than people give her credit for.
In the beginning of the show, very tough, ready to fight, a little bit rebellious, and after that eye loss, she kind of lost herself for a while there.
Yeah.
She became super depressed, and now she's a little more meager and timid but she's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
She's coming back stronger. Every episode she's a little stronger.
True. And she went through the whole thing about, like, you know, having sex with that guy in order to guarantee their safety. That was all pretty weird.
That was a sacrifice because you knew she didn't want to, but
Right.
Yeah.
And I think in that episode, June sort of like not discredited her, but looked at her like she was, you know, not her equal. But I think by the end of that episode, she sort of looked at her like, man, you know, she really is sort of selling herself and giving herself just so they both can eventually get free.
Yeah, she didn't seem to understand what her intentions were originally, but yeah, I think they respect each other.
Now we come to the last person on this list, and this might be a little bit controversial. So, we have Commander Lawrence on this list.
He's the other guy.
Most loved characters on this show.
When I said that I have top 2 favorite men characters, Nick has one. Commander Lawrence is my second favorites.
Yeah. I mean, some of the good things that he's done, he was able to help a ton with the whole Mayday situation.
Correct.
And did a lot of things behind the scenes in that. So many different times during the show so far, he could have completely sold June out, but he didn't. He's been, you know, trying to sort of almost like Nick, kind of play both sides a little bit.
Yeah.
He didn't do the whole like sex slave thing. He wasn't with that. Which brought heat on him because they started to think like, hey, what are you doing with all these handmaids if you're not having sex with them and there's no babies coming out? So he was willing to go that route. He was great with taking care of his wife as best as he could.
Yeah, that's definitely a soft spot for him that
right.
led into his personality a little bit more, gave us a little more insight to how sweet he kind of is with that whole situation.
Yeah, and he's trying to make amends for being the person who created the colonies. And, you know, that whole situation was his idea as a way to sort of torture these women. And he, I think, realized after some point in time that was wrong, and he's doing things now to try to make amends for that. So I respect him for that. And he might have been somebody who you weren't expecting to be on this list, but he is definitely on there. So that's it. Our top 5 most loved characters for season 5 of The Handmaid's Tale. Yep. June Osborne, Luke, Nick, Janine, and Commander Lawrence. So make sure you continue to rock with us. We're going to be doing another episode, and I'm going to link it right up here, for the most hated characters on The Handmaid's Tale. That one is also pretty controversial because of some people who show up on that list. So be sure to watch that one. Please hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell. And make sure you continue to watch our videos and support us. We're kind of new. The views have been going up, so that's definitely appreciated. But we're trying to crack that 100 sub mark. Also crack that 1,000 view mark. That would be pretty awesome. So
that would be awesome.
Yeah, real awesome. So make sure you continue to watch stuff with us. I'm JD.
I'm Katie.
Thanks for hanging out.